So I see Sky is Falling on here,
Yeah,
so let's just get into it, man.
I have this guitar already, so I just figured there's some good like different tones going on in this song where you need the intro, which is really, so you got the reverb going to one side. And then when you kick in, that's kind of the big tone.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's
big.
for like big choruses and solos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I've got all pedals going through loops, and then I've got the mastermind doing all the switching. And so a lot of my processing, like for reverbs and delays and modulation, is between the FM3 fractal and the H9. I never go anywhere without that thing.
Have you ever thought about going fractal or digital?
So I've dabbled.
Okay.
I've dabbled. I did one tour with Failure back in 2015. So I rejoined them for the Heart is a Monster / like the that was like right around the 20th anniversary of Fantastic Planet. And so they're fully fractal.
Yeah.
No speakers on stage. And that's because sonically that band is, it's the brainchild of Ken Andrews and Greg Edwards is sort of like, they make a good yin and yang team, but Ken is a great producer and mixer. And so he wants like no crosstalk. So no speakers on stage. There's baffles on the drum cymbals and stuff. It's like a studio on stage.
Yeah, we did a drum run with Kelly, and
yeah. And so I tried it for that tour, and it really works for them, but it just doesn't for this band.
Yeah.
I mean, we have speakers pumping. We need to feel our pant legs move a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of limit my use with it, because it's great for all kinds of modulation, phase, chorusing, but I missed having a spring reverb on stage, but it's just not possible with this many speakers. So I just make this my own sort of spring reverb in there, and it just kind of does what, it's like no one up there is going to be like, oh, he's not using a spring reverb. Nobody out there really cares that much. So I can get away with not having a vintage, MXR flanger, or a CE1 chorus, I just kind of make it in there. And that way I can split it off to whatever amp I want.
Yeah, there's a lot more programmability with it.
So yeah, so there's a lot of sort of mixing within this system of going to different amps and different pedals. And so
and to keep
it's really a lot.
Well, to keep it musical and to keep expedite the process rather than go one by one of the pedals. If you want to walk us through some key sounds, whether it's with this guitar or a different one, I know that you have different tunings.
That's kind of like the main like old school tone. Okay. That's like the Queen's sound right there to me. And then so we can go through a couple things here. Let me bring up some newer stuff.
And you're going through the set list. You have it kind of pre-programmed? Is that something you do?
So we basically make a new set every night.
Yeah.
So this is night 2 in Boston. We have to play some different stuff because we have lots of repeat. We have people that follow us around, and I mean, they don't want to hear the same. We don't want to hear the same set every night.
I've seen you twice at San Diego, at North Park, and I didn't want to see the same thing, and you guys did not disappoint.
Yeah. I mean, there's like, we broke out Eyes Peeled, last night for the first time in a while, and it's like, here, I'll just grab the correct guitar for this. I always thought a Jazz Master was the weirdest name for this guitar, because I don't ever see any Jazz Masters playing.
Yeah.
It's definitely become like the indie guitar.
Yeah.
So this is a song called "Keep Your Eyes Peeled" off of Like Clockwork, and This has a lot of processing, so it's like. It's like a phase, and there's like some octave dividing,
Yeah.
And so it goes from this. And then I have to go from that to this. So.
And you're not going to be able to.
I don't know. I didn't hear what you said, but
I was going to say, like, that's not something you can make a change with your foot alone.
So this thing is very, very useful for live because I just can't spend my time tap dancing on like 3 pedals at once.
Yeah.
And so that also goes to the lap steel. I have the same mini RGM there.
Okay.
And so a lot of what I do has to do with like one button doing 7 things at once.
Yeah. Now, are you actually programming this, or do you have a friend, a nerd?
I do get nerdy with this.
Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of design it the way it is, and then with my tech, Cody, we just kind of fine tune it.
Yeah.
Because he knows a lot about MIDI and stuff too. So, and of course, I know it's Premier Guitar, but we have a ton of synthesizers on stage too.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's always
that's
part
used
of it.
for a few things too, but yeah. But so yeah, with this, this is probably the most presets in one song. There's 8. I try to limit it to 6.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
No, but then yeah, so you've got these, these sort of. So I got to go from that to this.
And that's not even a different zip code. That's a different world.
That's a different world, yeah.
But
Yeah.
while I got you here, real quick,
Yeah.
hit me with some of the gain stages that you're using here, because I know people at home will want to keep track of what you use specifically to distortion. I see the 10 years, which is...
Yeah, so the 10 years does a very sort of clean boost.
Kind of like a preamp.
It's a preamp that's got, for me, I use it for just a little give on the clean sounds. So that's one stage. I've got the effect pedal.
Yeah, what is... I've never seen
So I work with George Trips too a bunch.
Jokester.
Yeah, and he's always another guy who's like, try this out. But I needed something to boost a certain frequency, so I think it's at like 700 or something.
Okay.
So literally that's all it is. It's cranking
Just
700.
2-band EQ. Or one band, I guess.
It's a 1-band EQ. And then the OC Demon it's like an octave fuzz.
Fuzz Roches.
With a gate. Yeah, Fuzz Roches. And then the Echo Drive is like my main sort of big sound overdrive. And the Raven, something I worked on with Dr. No. So that's a sweepable.
He's another weird scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a sweepable filter, so I can have it like a treble boost or a low boost.
Yeah.
So it's got that plus a clean boost if I need it, So those are kind of the main ones. The Fuzzmaster General it's like another type of octave fuzz, Use a lot on the last record. Yeah.
And man, it's funny because I got approached to build a pedal board from one of my favorite bands, and I couldn't think of any other one, was Queens of Stone Age. So it's funny to see some pedals on here that we selected to mimic the Queens of Stone Age sound, because it's like, I was approached and it was like, it'd be fun. We're going to give it away to a lucky fan of Premier Guitar. And we have the 10 years on there. We got the Green Rhino. So it feels validating to not know exactly what we're using, but chasing sounds, and then also letting people go where they want to with it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's cool to see that stuff.
It's good to start. You could start here, and then if you got to do your own thing. Always. So, yeah.
And the last thing, Troy, is how are you using the Saffron Squeeze? I know that's a compressor type pedal.
It's a compressor, another way huge pedal that I use for both lap steel and guitar. It's just when you have a clean sound and you need some extra sustain and a little give. There's a little boost in there.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of makes everything feel a little easier. Like on you know, so I think it's on, we'll see. Yeah, so it's on this setting here, which is it's a clean sound, but it's got some. So it's for stuff like that.